Hello everybody, welcome and welcome back to my channel, A Day in the Life of Rhea. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in, and welcome to today's video. So you clicked on this video, so you already know what this video is about, so let's jump straight into it. So this is my story time about how I got scammed by a prostitute in the Dominican Republic. Alright, so let's get into it. So back in 2017, I went on a solo trip to the Dominican Republic for my birthday. So everything was going good for most of my days. So one day I was on the beach. I decided to get some breakfast, just sit down and relax, enjoy the view. And then this man comes walking by. He said he was from this company that does excursions. So I was looking for something to do. So I took him up on his offer and I booked an excursion for the next day. It was a boat trip to another island and you had free food, free drinks, music, everything like that. So I was up for it. So we were just walking so I can go back to my room to get more cash to give him money so I can pay for my trip. So a random woman was just walking by and I was just like, oh, she's pretty. And then I guess bells went off in his head. So he was like, oh, I have some friends if you would like to meet some people. I was like, oh, no, I'm pretty much alone. I stay to myself. No, it's fine. He was like, oh, no, I think it'll be fine. You shouldn't be spending time or on vacation by yourself. And I was like, oh, I really don't mind. But he insisted. So I was just hanging along on the beach. And then he said to meet him back at the restaurant that he saw me eating at earlier. So we went back down there and we was waiting for his friend to come. And the lady comes. She doesn't speak English. I don't speak Spanish. So how are we even going to talk? So he kind of like invited her to go on an excursion with me the next day. But somehow they got to talking amongst themselves. And I wound up paying for her to go on an excursion with me the next day. Since I was going by myself, I was like, okay, you only live once, why not? Whatever. Sometimes it's nice to have company. So I got the money out. I gave him the money. He gave me the ticket. So after that, she was like lingering around and she wanted to like hang out or whatever, or come back to my room. So, you know, we got to sipping and drinking in my room. We was just chilling in my room, just sipping and chatting. So she started rubbing her stomach saying she was hungry. So I'm like, I figured she probably wanted me to buy her something to eat. So we went out to this restaurant and I paid for it. And I told her I didn't bring, a whole bunch of money on me. So we're not going to be ordering up all this stuff off the menu. So she ordering all this stuff. I had to go back to my room, get my money, come back to pay for our meal. So after that, we go back to my room again, but we had stopped and got some drinks. She asked if we can get some drinks. So I went and brought some more drinks. We went back to my room. We were just chatting or whatever. And so the crickets start coming in the room, right? So out of nowhere, she put on her kissy face like. So I'm just looking like, what? I was like, oh, no, that's fine. It's okay. And so then she started asking me what I like in the bedroom. I'm like, oh, no, that's not why I have you here. So I was just looking like, oh, crap, that's what she think this is. So she started getting upset, talking about she lost her job and she got kids and she's out here trying to make money for her kids to go back and send money to her family and all of that stuff. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, we were just hanging out. So I'm like, I'm not sure why you thought you was here. And she was like, well, I need money. I was like, okay. I said, what do I have to do with that? And she was like, well, I'm here. I was like, well, I didn't have you here for that. And she was like, well, I spent my time here. I was like, okay, well, you ate and you've been drinking. I've been paying for it. She was like, well, I can't pay bills and take care of my kids with that. I was like, okay, well, that's not my fault. So we're very limited on speaking because, I speak English, she speaks Spanish, but, she knew a little bit of English to be able to talk to me, small things here and there, whatever. So it started getting heated. You could feel the tension in the room. I'm like, Lord Jesus, what did I get myself into? So we on Google Translate going back and forth, fussing with each other. I'm throwing her phone, she throwing the phone back. We going back and forth trying to tell each other how we feel or whatever we saying or whatever we need to say to each other. So she was like, you need to tell your friend to give me that money back for the trip that you paid for. I was like, well, he's not my friend. He's your friend. I said, you text him and ask him for the money back if you're not going to go. And she was like, no, I can't go. I have to stay here and try to make money. I was like, okay, well, why did he tell me that you was going on a trip? She was like, I never told him I was going on a trip. I was like, well, I don't know whatever y'all had going on, but if you want the money from him, you need to text him and you need to get the money back from him because I don't even have his number. So she texted him and he not answering her back and she just sitting in my room. I'm like, Lord, get me out of this situation. So we was pretty mad with each other. So I was like, all right, well, you can just go ahead and leave and text him and get the money back from him. If he answer you, you can have the money for the trip since you're not going anyway. So she still wouldn't leave out my room. She started making phone calls. I'm like, oh my God, who is she calling? So I started hearing noise by my door, like somebody was coming to my door. I saw my light flashing before my eyes. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you can just go ahead and leave. So she still wouldn't leave. So I'm grabbing all her stuff because actually I was using her charger because her charger worked on my phone to charge my phone. And for some reason, my charger wasn't working to charge my phone. So I didn't have no kind of way to charge my phone up. That's another reason why I let her stay in my room because I was charging my phone off of her charger. But my charger worked to charge her phone up for some reason. That was crazy. But anyway, so I started getting all her stuff together, giving her stuff and, just standing there waiting for her to leave. And she still wouldn't leave. And she was like, okay, well, I need money to get back on a bus from here. It costs money. I wasn't going back to the ATM to get out more money and deal with all those international fees. So I'm like, how much do it cost to get on this bus? So I gave her some change to get on the bus and sent her on her way. So I still enjoyed myself without her. Makes it worse, the next night after that, the man from the excursion pops up at my house wanting to take me out. So I just went out just to have somebody to hang out with, and he was spending money on this and that, and then his homeboy came. I'm like, I started feeling like I owe somebody something. I think he started hinting at stuff. So I got my wallet and my phone, and I snuck off to the bathroom. Man, I was booking it. I ran all the way home from the bar trying to stay close enough to the wall so that if he was to look out from the club, he wouldn't really see me running up. But he knew where I lived, so he was so mad at me. He was texting me even after I left off of my trip like, why did you do this to me? Man, it was a crazy night. And even before then, we was riding around. Him and his friend was riding around through the Dominican Republic late at night. I'm sandwiched in between two guys riding on a daggone bike. Like, I got some stories to tell. But anyway, if you made it this far, I thank you so much for watching. If you would like more stories like this or would like to join me on my travels virtually, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.